All right. We are going to resume the Band of the Faceless playthrough. A veteran Iron Man Northern Raiders start on Battle Brothers with all the DLC enabled, and going has been fairly rough for us so far. We have run into higher level opposition than I'm used to seeing in the early game. We lost one of our early start experienced barbarians. One of the others has a weakened heart permanent debuff. Some of the fellows that we've picked up along the way are a bit beat up as well. We just recently, out of desperation mainly for crowns and food, took out a brigand raider based fort to the north. We're also playing without the map visible, so this has been the extent of our exploration. We started up near Varde. We have two of the human factions against us, the House of Steinwall and the House Eberlin, and House Grimund is half and half. Some of their cities don't feel very nicely about us, although I think most of them are not hostile any longer. So we might not make it much further, but I figured I'd get us back in and see how much further we can go, and if we need to start again and try out another route. One of the goals I was hoping to establish was whether or not there were any other towns to which we would have access for running contracts, because right now it's Schneerberg and Weissenfels. And Weissenfels, they gave us a travel contract that we got all hairy in between Nieuwekai and Weinestad, and barely survived that as well. So we're going to try to see how much further we can take this little band and see how it goes. So I'm going to continue to explore just to see if there's any signs of habitation to the north. The entire company, a motley little crew, if you say so yourself, enters your tent all at once. A troop of sellswords appearing in such a fashion is not the friendliest of sights, and so for a split second you think to reach for your sword, but then you notice that none of them have their weapons out, nor do they carry their faces of men about to commit a murder. While they don't seem to be forming a mutiny to take your head, you keep the thought in mind nonetheless. You are only further relieved when they don't immediately start talking, instead waiting for your words to come first. This is a show of respect, and so the thought of reaching for your sword grows more distant. Crossing your arms over the table, you ask them, "What is on your minds?" They explain that the company is too thin. Everywhere they go, there is danger, and the men are now concerned that every new battle shall be their last. Finally, they state their wants outright. If they are going to survive, they need more brothers by their side. We're going to reinforce as soon as we can. You immediately stand up and rap the table with your knuckles. The best of minds truly must think alike, for I have already set aside some crowns for hiring new brothers. The anxious, almost sad faces of the men slowly begin to change. They smile and nod and say things like, "All right, that's good." When they turn to leave, you notice they've got daggers sheathed behind their backs. Yeah. I think they know it's about as bad as I do. But the cost of good leadership is to give hope. Wandering into the wilderness here can be the last act of desperate men. We just ran out of tools for repairs. We've found a town. Is this town hostile? It is. And they're dispatching a large group of militia. So that is also the Dragon Banner folks, the House of Steinwall. It's not looking good that we are going to find more usable towns. I think we're going to try to circle them and head to the east. So you see some brigands, one thug and a couple raiders. That could be more than we can handle right now. Looks like the road tails off. So we're going to opt to head east. Our front line is mostly healed. Let's go see what we have to find. I feel like I even normal, yeah. It was moving rather fast there. I tend to be more careful. Three more days of provision, 2 more days of food. We're following 5 brigands into the Druid's Grove. Little background noise provided by the bulldog Rufus. He may be intermittently snoring. They actually are running from us, which is surprising because we classify ourselves as less powerful. Going to engage them in the night in case they have any ranged weapons. Oh, this is much better. So 2 of the brigands, 2 of the raiders are less powerful than I would have normally expected. I'm going to immediately get the warhounds into action to get the extra attacks. Did that to spread the line a little further. We're going to move up and drop into a spear wall. We're going to back up with the pikemen. Let our war dogs get off some attacks. No damage so far. %65 chance to hit the Morningstar Raider, who goes in 3 turns. The Brigand Raider goes in 2. I'm going to try to go for their biggest damage dealer with the... no luck. Rough hit from their spearman. It's already gone, so we're not going to try to stun him. Just going to try to beat our way through. Concentrate damage. This guy is circling around on us. We're going to hold off on reacting. Going to try to get a stun on him to cut off his damage next turn. Try it again. Got him. Circle behind. Got down their first raider. Couple hits on them. gonna go for killing first, but move up. Move up as well. Dog survives. Good. I'm gonna move through. I'm gonna try to knock him down a level with a shield bash. Perfect. Near death. Swing and a miss. Good job, dog. So our dog has the thug that was circling around on us locked in a bit. So far the dog dodges. Move down a level with Braum. Attack. Get a spear through. And shield wall. Bounces off the shield. Dog got a bite through. Managed to get the pickfork through. Nice. Morningstar got around his shield. Good hit with the Morningstar there. Stab with the boar spear. That was my war dog. The war dog has broken that raider. Should be all over but the crying. Pikeman takes down the last. Nice. Our first battle where we looked somewhat tolerably successful. We'll take that loot. I don't think we're going to change up much. We might distribute that shield. Still at 2-3 days on our provisions. Guntram leveled up. Going to give a shield to our Hirgold because he has more stamina overall to take a larger shield on. Let's see. Really is nothing all that useful to swap in or out. Let's take a look at Guntram's level up. Hard to pass up a +5 on ranged. Might be useful to get him in to the mix with a bow at some point. That initiative knock is something we also might want to make up for. I'm going to take the 5. I also want to do more damage, and I also want more fatigue so that we can armor him up some more. Because he's just level 2, we're going to take the student perk in order to try to get more value out of him long term. So other than that, we are surviving on mushrooms and berries. Almost out of goat cheese. Looks like we're coming upon another possible settlement. Cross our fingers, and hopefully it is the folks with the elk as their... It's been a bit destroyed. Signs of battle. Looks like it's to the south here. Gemmenberg. And they also hate us. Which is the challenging part of the Northern Raider start, is you don't have a lot of friendlies. Got some... So we're out of tools. It might actually make more sense to rearrange a little bit here in case we get into it. We're going to toss off some of our more beaten armor. We're going to give the monk Friso a thick tunic to wear. We could just give him back his monk robes. Okay. Things are dire. Surviving on the edge. I'd like to get him a more powerful weapon if we could. We're gonna drop a better head on him because of the condition of that helmet. Alright. We're gonna try to continue. So, we found these guys hold a lot of territory. Need to get out of here, buddy. Gonna relocate the dog. Alright. One thing you cannot do with most bulldogs is restrict them. Any form of restriction they tend to push back against. I can identify with that perspective. Taking a look at these footsteps. The poachers could give us some trouble, but we really need some way to collect more funds and food. And since they're running from us, we might as well. At 9. I think that's more than we want to take on right now if we can help it. Coming upon another settlement. Gunspira. And they hit us too. It is tough being a raider. And the only people that like you hold a tiny part of the map. Alright, so we're going to go around. Because they're going to dispatch a company out after us. And we have the provisions to survive for a bit longer in the wilds. I'm going to cut to the west. Then run back down to the forest. No, goodness gracious. So we are being attacked in the night. So I've seen all kinds of suggestions online about how to properly fight these guys, most of which involves stripping naked. I'm going to wait for them to close. We're going to release the dogs as a hope of advantage. I try to keep our guys clustered together for the most part. It's the wounded one, but let's stay together. Not great. At least the dogs are doing some damage. Gonna move upward. Wake our ally. Wake our second ally. That was probably not the best of plays, since the pikeman can't get close enough. And now Rufus wants back in. Classic bulldog behavior. I'm gonna move in on here because he's already wounded. Unfortunate. Get a hit from one of the dogs. These are the two wounded ones. Gonna try to impale one. No luck. Got a successful hit off. Asgear the Rock has defiled his namesake and is breaking. Dog attacks again. And again. Getting good hits off the dogs. This guy, Frieza, can't stab the side of a barn. Good hit with the Morningstar. Now we have one gravely wounded. Gonna back up a slot. Gonna go for it. And we miss. Good hit with the pike. One of our men is running. Dogs charge in. To no avail. Friso Misses with his stab. Miss our chance to kill one. Miss again. Not looking fabulous. I'll move up to try to deflect some of that. Almost losing her gold. Dogs have a successful attack. 55 on both. Misses again. That is by far the most frustrating part of this game. Is he's had about 4 55% attacks and has yet to hit once. And just put the dog asleep. We're going between them. Finally take one out. Dogs get a hit. Alright, here is 48%. And he goes in 2 turns. You miss again. Let's move you away, hopefully to get out of range. Since you're in the best or near best condition, we're going to move you forward to try to catch the frag. Attacks and puts to sleep Guntram and the dog. Success. They're breaking down. Gonna move forward. Gonna wake the pikeman. We just lost Hilgold. Misses our chance to take him out with the pikeman. Come on, boys. Got another hit from the dogs. 54% chance to hit or get a hit, but we do not kill him. Hit for 37 damage. We got gravely wounded and near death. Let's move back. We just lost Friso. Everybody's asleep. Asgeir realizes it's death or dishonor. Braum is near death and fleeing. Guntram. The dogs aren't waking up. Asgeir comes in heroically. Oh. Whew. Rough. All right. So Guntram came out of that with a missing nose and survives. Hilgold is deceased, as is our company monk. Asgeir the Rock now has a broken knee. We got several third eyes. And the rest of the equipment is what we already had. Rough. Survival is not looking all that excellent for the Band of the Faceless. Alright, we have no tools. Asgear is disgruntled because everybody's dying. Alright, so we definitely need to get our dogs in the mix because they're the most effective fighters we have. They didn't really do physical damage to our equipment. His headpiece is fairly rotted. Sort everything. Or if we could have thrown holy water at them. Just gonna put it in his pocket just in case. Guntram is also leveled up. We're gonna give him a buff to fatigue and melee. I think we're gonna bump him on initiative because his missing ear gives him a debuff to that respect. So both of our, I know one of our frontliners has crippling strikes. We give him executioner to try to take advantage of those crippling strikes. See if we can get him. He is roughed up. He's got no ear, no nose. Somehow his missing nose is broken. Okay. Alright, so I think we need to retreat and try to find some friendly territory. It seems like that the House Steinwall owns the north. Maybe there are a few other of the friendly cities, but quite possibly not. The southern empires are likely down here. We are not going to find much in the way of salvation up here. So we got 4 more days of crowns, 6 days of provisions, no loot, and we have enough medical supplies to cure our non-debilitating injuries. That was rough. We're going to see how much further we can go. The battle's over. You look around at the destruction that it had wrought. Friso is on his back, staring blankly at the skies with glazed eyes. Other brothers litter the battleground. They are ill-shaped, ragged, fractured, and fragmented, and soon fermented. It is a collectively cruel end, and now the flies are gathering, dotting the dead like skittering moles. They copulate on cold skin with shameless abandon, and they set about burrowing the next brood in the still warm gore. Asagir the Rock walks up and asks, "What is it you wish to do with the bodies?" "Gotta honor the dead." You nod towards the dead. "Those are some fine men, and fine men get a fine burial. We'll honor them just as we should. A good hole to sleep in, crowns which they can spend in the next world, and feast to celebrate. I'd expect the same to be done for me." The surviving men cheer and begin preparations. We spend 60 crowns. And we don't even get a happiness buff. You know, nobody really respects you when you try to do the right thing. A lot of wolves chattering. Far more than we are prepared to take on. Right now we can just about kill some peasants. Which would be nice if we came across it. to stay out of the mountains. See if there's a way through using the forests. Not feeling wildly optimistic. Our cost of maintaining the company did diminish by about half with the dead. I suppose that's some version of good fortune. Looks like we have signs of the undead ahead of us. We don't want orc warriors. I have a feeling that the existence of this Band of the Fearless play may be short-lived. I think I'm going to stick around and restart it, though, as a new game. Give it another go. I feel like the real unluckiness that we've hit into is the amount of territory that's unfriendly to us and how much that limits the opportunity we have to survive and at least profit some to get powerful enough to take on some of the unfriendly folks. But we'll have to see. So, I think we're going to try to make a run to Schneeberg. At the very least, we should be able to sell some of our excess capacity off to them in terms of inventory. And we get there too late to get into the market, so we're going to camp until morning. At dawn, we'll enter the town. The town is in the midst of a rebuilding effort. It's been recently raided and has ambush trade routes. So we do have a fair amount of equipment. Their food is expensive, but necessary. You can sell off these third eyes. Do they have a taxidermist here? They do. He's not offering to craft anything from that. I'm not quite sure what third eyes do in terms of the options. So let's see. I'll sell off the cloth rolls for certain. So let's see what this contract is. Egon of Schneeberg is looking out a window, dancing a finger along the rim of a drink as he weighs his thoughts. Brigands have been taking off with his precious livestock. They come in the night. The brigands, I mean. They cut the bells off to make off all quiet. I'm sure livestock aren't important to you, but one calf, one cow, one bull, that's a fortune to some people around these parts. So the other day I have had a lad follow the animal tracks out of town, and now he's told me exactly where those brigands are. As I'm sure you could guess, I don't have the spare men to take these vagabonds on, but crowns I'm not short on. If you were to cross the plains, if I were to cross your palms with copper, would you be willing to cross these brigands with steel? Let's talk money. You'll be paid 130 crowns in advance and 520 when the job is done. Give us a bit more. 140 in advance, 50, 560 when done. Take it. So we have very little to hire. We have Multi the Crawler. We're going to hire him. He's tiny, which gives him good defense, and he's short-sighted. Excellent. But we really can't be that choosy. We can get him the leather lamellar armor. I'm going to swap out his headgear with the hood. And we'll give him the bandana to cover up his lack of nose. In all likelihood, we are marching to our deaths. But we have little else to choose from. He is our best ranged guy. So we're going to give him the throwing axes. Put the pickaxe on his belt. We only have 1 day of funds, so we're going to sell a few things. Get rid of some of our crap. We're going to get rid of our small shields, our worst condition hand axe, his pick, the bludgeon, one of the 2 pick forks. We don't have enough to buy and repair anything, but we do. Yeah, so we're selling the 3rd eyes, and we're going to buy some tools to try to repair our equipment as we march out to meet these fellows. You know, alternatively, we could sell everything and try to hire Wolfram the Poacher. But for 540 at 8 a day, seems awfully expensive. We could sell, I think we need the body. We need the damage. Yeah, we do. So we're going to sell some of our spare equipment. We're going to hang on to the mallet. Got a feeling he's going to have a undesirable debuff, but let's try him. He's determined. He's susceptible to poison. He's got a short bow. It's not terrible. We'll give him a dagger. Let's go see if we can kill some, hopefully, thugs. Because the last time on our first quest, they threw a whole bunch of raiders at us right away. And that was the beginning of the slow decline. 2 days of provisions, 3 days of cash. We should be able to get to the fortifications, this outlaw's hideaway. We don't really have, so some big brigand thugs, a few brigand raiders. Which I think means there's probably like maybe 5 to 9 of them. Let's see. Okay, 6. So, I think what we're going to try to do is go up just a little, see how much we can get done. With both shield bashes. Terrible. Terrible. Oh man, he's gonna good hit. We're in a lot of trouble. He didn't do the full swing on us. Nice. Oof, our dog took a bad hit. Acid battle, brother. And we lost our dog. Tried to go for their armor, no luck. Got to hit through past his shield wall. So far, it's looking like we may survive. Come on, dog. I want you to live. See if we can kill him. God, perfect. Not enough fatigue to move forward. Yep, I hit through. Send the dog out after the straggler. And he breaks. Surround him. Oh, we lost our dog. We're not going to get a shot on him. I think we can just let him run. Brown levels up. We lost both dogs, who essentially saved our lives. We got some provisions and cash, and a boar spear, and decent headgear, a little bit of tools. Not the worst of results for that one. After the battle, you find a prisoner tied up in the brigand's camp. Freeing him, he explains that he is from Weisenstadt and was kidnapped by the vagabonds just a few days ago. He asks if maybe he could join your band of mercenaries. Might as well. The prisoner grins from ear to ear as you wave him in. A few brothers ask what weapons they should give him, but you shrug and figure you'll see yourself to what to arm the man with. Let's see about weapons. So, burn free the short. We get another tiny guy, which at least makes him hard to hit. I think we are going to change you over to the boar spear. 55, 52, specializes in we're going to have the spearman on the outside. Let's level up Braum. Take a look. He has no... Braum has been our most successful guy so far. Those are our most heavily armored. We give him buffs on melee defense and offense, but also fatigue. I think we want to take Brawny to try to get him some fatigue back overall. Our new archer has cut leg muscles. So I think the guys that are already on board deserve first dibs at the best equipment. You're going to give Burnfried a giant cleaver. Well, we can probably repair that with some of the stuff that we just found. Try to use these guys to stun lock. The outside ring to defend. See how much we can repair. We need about 10 more supplies than we have. Let's see how far that gets us. Perhaps purchase some more when we get back to Schneeberg. We have enough medical supplies. And crowns. You get 560. We cure the trade routes. So we're in a little more survivable a position, which is nice to see. They don't have much equipment for us. Would have been nice to buy more arrows. And I mean just arrows to have a second quiver's worth. So we have 3 days of provisions, 12 of food. We improved the cost slightly of goat cheese. We'll sell some of the junk that we're not going to use. Deciding that Schneeberg is a good place to invest your efforts, you decide to offer protection of the company and take up any work suitable to your talents. You act like gentlemen in your dealings with the locals and encourage the men to mind their matters while in the settlement. There was, of course, some griping at first. Brahm was sorely disappointed to give up the brawling with the farmers, especially with the band of the Faceless spending so much time in Schneeberg. But you convinced the men that having a friendly base of operations is important in your line of work, as it meant getting better prices on the market and more people willing to join your motley band. It's also much less tiring not to have to dodge the militia all the time. You have enlisted the men to do some small tasks in exchange for nothing but goodwill. I found that little brat who wandered off and dragged him right home. Malte the Crawler brags, quickly outvied by Brahm. I went to the market for the old spinster, split her firewood for winter, and even put out her washing, but I draw the line at rescuing treed cats. We get a nice bump to morale. So I don't think there was anybody left to hire. There are no new contracts. I think what we're going to do is make a run for Weissenfeld and also discover a bit of what's in here. I'm going to cut across to the west over here to see if we have anything to discover that looks like signs of additional habitation, because we could definitely use another village to get contracts and relations going with. Moving into the Skull Slide Hills. So we're to the north of Weissenfeld. We use some of these hills to try to uncover some territory. We got some swamp to the south, some grasslands to the east. Just looks like it's a touch of swamp around a pond. Got a crime a hill in the scrublands. See if we can see anything out further. Looks like another mountain range. We'll move to the south and climb one more hill. Looks like some canyons. As is customary, you assemble the men to explain the company's next step. Brothers, the band of the faceless, must show the world we are forged of hotter fire than other mercenary bands. As our reputation grows, so will the influx of crowns to our coffers. Let us forge a path to greatness. What do we tell the men that the company will do? I think we're going to try to go for the arenas because there doesn't seem to be much available to us besides unhappy kingdoms to the north, and getting up there and raiding enough caravans to be survivable seems like it could be tricky. We're not going to make it to Weissenfels by night. We have 2 more days of provisions. We're going to want to get some before we try to go find the southern kingdoms. We'll camp overnight. Have a look at our men. Wolfram still has cut leg sinews. Our front line is healed, but our equipment is still sort of ratty. We're out of tools. What we'll try to do is, at the very least, provision up, grab some tools in Weissenfels, and see if we can survive to get to the southern cities. Some lucky miner has struck a particularly rich vein. Then they also have ambush trade routes. This contract might be to go brigand hunting, which might be valuable to us at the moment. It has some decent, for what we've been seeing, priced food, but it's definitely a bit for the worse because of the trade routes. Everything is fairly expensive. Let's see what we have to hire. We have Ernest, a miner. Currently, we have 2 other miners in our ranks. They've been performing 3 other miners in our ranks. We may try to get a 3rd. Let's see what the contract is first. You step into Jared of Weissenfels' room to find the man staring at a map of the hinterlands. He shakes his head. See this spot right here? That's last Lord's demise. Weissenfels used to worship a relic by the name of the Star Map Disc, but the town folks are saying it's gone and missing. Well, for whatever reason, they think it's there. I have no men to hire in Seif. The roads are dangerous, and I can't afford to pay for failure. But you sellsword seem up to the task. Would you go there and find this star map disc for us? Seems like we're probably gonna run into undead in the most likely of results here, and we're not particularly strong. But it's a level 1, and we should be able to pull off a level 1. We need to be paid more. We'll get 440 crowns. We'll accept the contract. See what happens. I want to get our equipment back in shape, so we're going to buy some overpriced tools, sell off a few more pieces of our unused inventory. We have 2 days of food. We're going to add a bag of grain. We may hire list when we return. So we need to obtain the star map disc from the last Lord's demise. We'll march out there and see how it goes. Hopefully this is not the last march of the Band of the Faithfuls. We are getting a decent amount of equipment repair done on the way. I think I'm gonna circle around and wait for that equipment repair to get a bit further along. We'll jump up on these hills, see if we can see anything in the distance. Don't want to lose the rest of the day. I think we're close enough. Let's see what we have to find. Finding and bagging the star map disc was easier than expected. Finding a group of the undead men top-heavy with rustic armor and wielding spears in a tighter military formation than even the highest-paid army in the realm, not so expected. 2 arms. A few ancient auxiliaries. We have 2 guys running spears, but we should be able to bash some using the Morningstars. We're going to let them come to us. There are only 4 of them. Probably the most dangerous is that guy with the hook short sword. We're going to hold. We'll get off a shot to maybe try to break some armor in case. But get 2 misses. We're going to let them come to us. Take out one of them. Oh. Rough hit on multi. Morningstar doing their work. We're going to shield wall. Bounces off his shield. Shield wall. Break some of his armor. Nice hit by the pikeman. And we get lucky. Take him out with the Morningstar. Would have been too lucky to get through it without losing one of our guys. We should be able to take out this last one with 2 Morningstar. We lost Multi. He was with us for 3 days. Take the equipment. After the battle, you're not entirely sure what it was you ran into. Burnfried the Short asks if you know what they said. Seems like they were pointing you out specifically, sir. Nodding, you tell the man, you're not sure what the armored man said, but it matters not. You have the star map disc, and it's time to return to Gerald of Weissenfels for your pay. We're going to head back. See what we can do as far as equipment and upgrades. We did pick up the ancient household helmet and an ancient spear, which is going to be worse than our boar's head, I believe. It's 100% effective against armor, which is a slight bump up. It's a little less fatigue to use. It's sort of in between, and in between is not enough. Let's upgrade Wolfram. We're going to give him a little more initiative. Even though it's low, we're going to give him health, but we're also going to bump his range just because that's what we're using him for. His helmet is 8 fatigue and 95. I'm going to drop that on Burnfried. We're going to move the bear's head to Guntram. We'll leave the mouthpiece off for now. All three of these guys have decent shields, which are better for the most part than the ancient auxiliary. Perks wise, we're going to give him fast adaptation. I think that's the most important buff for an archer. And then we have Asgeir. Asgeir still has a broken knee. Otherwise, that's his automatic 40% debuff. It's almost like you lose half of the upgrade. We're going to give him endurance for sure. Even though we lose half of that, I think there's some value to being able to protect himself. We're going to give him health, and we're going to give him the buff. He really only got a few for that. I'm going to give him Relentless. We use the weight command a fair bit. I want to keep him active in the fight. His armor is pretty beat. We're going to swap it out for the leather lamelier. Rotate around some armor. Alright, so then it's back to Weissenfels and see if we have anything left to do there. We may hire the miner that we left. We're not going to make it before night. We're going to camp outside of town. Guntram runs into your tent and says something, is watching the camp. You come outside to see a silhouette in the distance, skulking behind brush and tree limbs. You know it's staring when it hisses. For what else would it be looking at it to elicit such a charge? Its arms are long and slender and end in claws. You take a torch and sling it towards the beast. Its slick skin winks a vibrant orange, and it shrieks away from the cloud of embers and sparks as the torch lands and rolls past. The toothy maw is the last thing you see fading into the darkness. I think it's an Alp, sir. It's all by itself as far as we can tell. You ask the sellsword if the sellsword has had visions, and he shrugs. Yeah, some, but I also been drinking, so there's that. Kill it or ignore it. We took on 3 Alps early on, and they roughed us up pretty bad. Our war dogs are what saved us. And but if we don't kill it, does it bring more? I think it was almost morning. We're going to ignore it. You tell the men to ignore the Alp. If it were any danger, it would have already proven so. Instead, it has let you know it is there, whether by ignorance or arrogance, neither of which bother you none. A few of the men do not agree with this decision, and they stay up all night watching for the beast. Back to Weisenfeld, we get our crowns. Weisenfels is now in high spirits. We're up to 1,000 crowns. Still only have Ernest to hire, but we're going to do so. Ernest is lucky. Sell a few of the things that will likely not come into use. And we're going to pick up a little more food. And we're going to try to make it to the southern cities and complete our goal of having 5 arena fights. I'm going to move down to the east here. Because we're also going to hope that we run into at least 1 or 2 more friendly towns, being that the majority of the map is unfriendly, but it looks like we're going to be heading into the desert, and likely this will be one of the southern realms at the end of this road. I personally like the approach of an unexplored map that you just don't know. So 9 nomads are gonna kick our butts. So we're gonna run back. They are coming for us. We're gonna cut down and across. Get up on the sand dune, see what we can see. Nothing special. Night's falling. We have all our armor repaired. Let's get up on the sand dune, see if we can see anything. Road's still going to the south. Got a trading caravan that's friendly. We have reached the city-state of Tarwa. This morning, we have 11 days has a coin and 2 days of food. The guys are in good condition, besides a bit pissy. Let's go see what we have. No arena, which is our current goal. We have nothing that we can treat in the temple. So we have a 2-tier contract and a 3. They've had a good harvest, and their food is readily available for cheaper. I don't think we're ready for 3-tier contracts just yet. They have some nice, inexpensive rice. And goat cheese. Wow, they weren't kidding, their food's cheap. We are low on nearly everything. We're going to definitely pick up some food. So I'd like to see what the twin difficulty contract is first. The town's merchant square is rife with business, and apparently you're wanted to be a part of it. A few of the Vizar's finest peddlers are wanting to take a caravan of goods to El Hadat. A good 3 days of travel, one explains tersely. If the Gilder might look the other way, I pray the so-called soldiers of this town find the world of shade. You, Crownling, I suspect you'll be willing to help us where others are not, for coin, of course. How many crowns are we talking about? Adequate compensation for your services, you would be receiving 790 crowns when the contract is done. See if we can get some more. We'll go for 840. It should be safe to go to another of the southern city-states. We shouldn't cross, hopefully, paths with any of the human or northern kingdoms that hate us. So we accept the contract. It's 3 days to the east, which should be past the nomads that we just ran from. They're going to cover our provisions, so we're going to look to see if we can spend our money at least getting another guy or two. We have some inexpensive daytailers. We can also purchase some indebted. There's a sellsword, but he's way out of our financial league. As a nomad is. I think we're going to bring in really just for fodder and potential defensive purposes if we run into nomads on this trip across. We have enough weaponry to outfit 2 of them. We could just give a Morningstar and a cleaver and leave them in their default gear. At the very least, they'll block some incoming attack. So we're going to hire Tala al-Abbas and Mutar ibn Jazbib. So Mutar is quick and an optimist. We could use one. Everybody else is seemingly pessimistic. And Talha has iron lungs. So, to give them some chance of survival, we're going to rotate in the rear guard's armor. And we're going to, even though the provisions are so cheap here, I think we are going to pick up Just one little thing of rice. It should give us more to survive on, and it should last the 3 days of travel and give us some. We're actually going to do 2. Give us some rice in our pockets. Nothing in the taxidermist of interest. That could have been interesting if we just had a little more free cash, but we got 5 days of cash now and 6 days of provisions. Let's see how this goes. Not enough hyenas to bother the caravan. I think that's that same group that we ran from prior is now engaging us. At least we have a few more bodies to work with. Yeah, we should have decent odds here. So I don't think anybody's in range. We're going to wait to see if someone does come. We're going to hold. They are the aggressors. We're going to let them charge us. Nice. Gets off a hit. I'll try to stun him. Miss. Got a good stab with the boar spear. A couple arrows into the mix. Nice hits. I'll try to get in and get the finish. Misses. I'm going to get around. We break him. We're going to leave in position. Let's see if we can get the finish with our pikeman, and it does. Our new recruit takes a pretty decent whack that breaks his finger, gets a cut artery. One of our guys has some bandages. Not sure how close he is. He's going to lose 3 hit points a turn. He's got 22. We're going to concentrate on that guy. We get an arrow into him. Can't really jump, so we're gonna hop, get a spear on him, finish off the guy that was leaving. Looks like we forgot to put something on Wolfram. He was fighting naked. Could have sworn I dropped at least a sackcloth on him. Awesome. So, which one of us has bandages? Could have been from early on. So he has the bandages to get him. So we broke the last one. Put him down. Probably a waste of those bandages. Get some decent loot, but it's all destroyed. I don't know that there's much to be concerned about equipping. Snowmad robe. Probably fix up without too much difficulty if we gun trim. We're gonna bump both of his attack, and we're gonna give him greater health. He's an executioner. It's gonna give him crippling strikes. We want him to do as much damage from that back line as possible. Considering whether or not those lighter maces might have been worth swapping in for any of the heavier gear, but I think we're going to take the damage. Should get our caravan back going. We find an abandoned wagon amongst some tall reeds. Asgear the Rock checks it out and barks back. It's broke as shit, but I think we can salvage parts of it. We gain 10 tools and supplies. Hopefully those footsteps are the same ones from the nomads we just killed. We should be able to repair the remainder of our gear. Signs of battle, but it was older. Another group. We should be in a decent spot to defend ourselves. We're going to do the same. Let them come to us approach. We're going to try to get that. Yeah, he rotated in one of my guys. We're going to stab him in spear wall. Got a stun on the guy with the scimitar. Gonna move Asgear forward to hold the corner. Gonna launch a couple of arrows into the middle here and see who they might hit. Get one off the front line. Because he's stun locked. Get a nice hit on that nomad. Also gave him a bleed. In all likelihood, he'll be done. We're going to move around. Leave it options that they can come in and act on our little spear wall placement here. We get some damage on him while he's... miss. One of the conscripts taking damage. Nice, breaks the scimitar. We're gonna try to take out this cutthroat. And move down, just get a cleaner shot on the slinger. Nice. Gonna move forward. Get a shield bash to break this guy's shield wall. And break their line. We're going to opt for better position with our pikemen. I'm going to finish him. Finish him. Get a wound on their spearmen. We're going to get wounds directed in towards this guy since he already has a shield, even though it's not in use. I'll try to get a knockout. No stun. And we break his morale. And leave him in position rather than expose him to a bunch of attacks. Two more shots at the slingers. I'm gonna come around on the slinger from behind. Big hit with the pikeman. Keeps rotating in my spearman. Awfully forward of you, Bubba. Gets a nice hit on the battle's ours. Not enough fatigue. Not sure how that guy's morale is holding as everybody around us dies. We come in and cleave them. Nice job, guys. A Saif. Looks pretty potentially effective. So we might have come out of that with some equipment that we want to throw on our guys. Let's take a look at our upgrades. Benfried the Short. It's a +5 on fatigue. Gotta take that. Let's take a look. He's got a Death Wish. And his melee damage, because he's tiny. Gotta take the +5. Really, I think we're going to take the other +5 too. Then it's up to a toss-up. He gets a buff to melee defense because he's tiny. So I think if we put these 3 into it, that's actually going to get, like, say, another point worth, which we'll take. And it didn't just net out that way, but close enough. Perks wise, because he's starting out, we're going to go student. We're going to try to get these guys. Sooner or later, we're going to get some folks that last. So Ernst has leveled up. He's our lucky miner. Going to take that +4 on health. Going to take a +3 in melee. And we'll take a +3 in fatigue. We're also going to take your student perk so the new guys can learn. So Morningstar, after out there freewheeling with a giant cleaver, he has gotten his finger crushed. But otherwise, he's quick and fairly friendly. I think we're going to give him a shield and a scythe so that he can survive just a bit longer. We're going to throw a shield on Talha. These Darga shields are a little less fatigue, or same fatigue. More range defense, a little less hit points on the shield itself. I think we're just going to get him some robes, a little bit more protection, even if it has to be repaired. If we run out of arrows, we can drop a sling on our bowman. Nice. Feeling much more positive about the chances of the Band of the Faceless. We have survived 2 encounters with nomads on this trip with the trading caravan. We should get a nice payout at the end. We don't have enough tools to repair everything. Let's just take a look at our choices. We did repair those robes. That's not fixed. His armor. That is it. We'll figure that out. Now we got coverage, which we'll take. We get into town just before dusk. You've made it, having delivered the caravan just as you promised Tamin al-Aziz, the visor of treasury, you would. The caravan leader thanks you with a payment of crowns. He seems rather thankful for the fact that he's alive, briefly regaling you with a tale of when he barely escaped an ambush by brigands. You nod as if you give 2 shits about what happened to this man. We get 840 crowns, and El Haddad is now well supplied. Crowns well deserved? We didn't get in before nighttime. So it looks promising. They're well supplied. We also have 2 potential contracts. So we're going to move out and about a bit to just scout, see what there is on the outskirts. El Haddad sits on a shoreline. I'm going to kind of stick around the 1st Regiment of El Haddad. See if we can get up onto here. Looks like we're on a peninsula. Let's head back to town. So El Haddad does not have the arena either, which is our next goal, to win 5 arena fights. It actually really has nothing much that's all that appealing. So well supplied. They have food, but it's a lot more expensive food than where we just had departed because they were in a dearth of food. Tools and supplies could be nice. I like the idea of throwing nets. We could immobilize some folks. Malik the Crazy. Burn Burn free and indebted we could purchase. There's several indebted here we could purchase. And a manhunter, but that would take most of our gold. So we could stock up our rear ranks with indebted and give them slings. We'd want to get some tools to repair those as well. We currently have 7 days of provisions and 14 days of crowns. The likelihood that any of these guys have decent range talent is probably low. Let's see what we have contract-wise before we make any decisions in particular. Let's see where the harbor can take us. Nowhere that we know of. The weaponsmith. Ooh, that thing looks bad. Like it. It's like gawking at a Ferrari dealership, though. It's all way beyond our reach. That composite bow would be nice. Not sure our bowman is good enough to deserve a composite bow just yet. 30-50. His range skill is just 50, and he's not very talented at it. Tahala al-Abbas could grow into a decent ranged guy. Guntram is probably the most potentially talented. I think we'll continue to buff his ranged. He's got 10% max fatigue. No ear, no nose, but pretty good. Okay. Let's see what we have in our contract offers before we decide on if we need additional guys. You watch as slaves bundle goods and load them into a series of wagons. The caravan's owners spot you and seek you out, pushing their workforce out of the way or smacking them for apparently no reason at all other than it brings some unknown pleasure to do so. One beams with delight as he greets you. He puts out one hand, but you do not shake it. Ah, Crownling, it is true that this hand has profaned itself with the flesh of the indebted, but you shouldn't be so shy. We are all bright beneath the gilder's eye, are we not? We have a task for you, one of some import given by the governess of our suzerain Tawid al-Haddad of El Hadet. The caravan is heading to Weissenfels, a good 2 days' travel, and requires a fair bit of guard so that it makes sure that it arrives in good health. Is this task amenable to your coin-seeking interests? Let's talk money. He nods. You look able. I'm willing to pay you quite a bit. You'll get 700 crowns when the contract is done. I'm going to ask for more. They're going to offer 740. Weissenfels is one of the few settlements that's friendly to us, and maybe worth checking to see if they have another task for us. So we're going to accept his offer. And we are going to purchase a couple of the indebted to accompany us. Kind of interested in Burnfried, and we're going to try him out because we have a bit of spare cash. He's short-sighted and impatient, so he always asks first, which could be good if he has any range skill. We're going to hire him. Let's just take a look and see what his skills look like. So he is potentially going to be a strong fighter for us. For now, we're going to put him in the back line, and we're going to give him a sling. And we'll probably give him a mace on his belt. That worked out. All right, we still have 11 days worth of cash. We're going to try out Sabit. He's fragile. We're going to try out Haroon. He's a bleeder and a night owl. We're going to try out Hamden. He's got nothing in particular. We'll hire him or buy him. He's also got some talent as a ranged guy. Whoops, what did I just do there? Didn't have him selected. Again, talent as a ranged guy. Like it. Give him the second sling. I'm going to leave them in rags. I'm going to drop into the market. I'm going to sell a few of these pieces off that we don't intend to use. And we're going to grab 20 tools to try to get everything repaired by the time we get there. So it's 2 days away. We should have the supplies and the cash. And let's see how we do. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to smoke a cigar. A little tiny one. These are Partagas Puritos. And they're pretty good. Being chased by some hyenas. They gave up. Some goblin raiders. But our caravan seems to be moving faster. They gave up. You cross into a small hamlet beside the path. It's a rather nondescript place, save for a woman tied atop a soon-to-be bonfire. She is surrounded by a band of peasants, as is usual for a woman in this position. A monk from the mob reads from a holy tome, apparently letting everyone know the denotological nature of her crimes. Another man dutifully stands by with a torch, his hands itchy to put it to use. Seeing you, the woman shouts for help. "They're going to burn me. You must do something. I've done no wrong." Not our problem. The life of a sellsword is not the life of a do-gooder, especially when you're northern raiders to begin with. So this time, the nomads include some outlaws. So we're going to get second level guys. There were 6 of them. We'll see if it's 3 and 3. Three and 3. We're going to go with the come to us strategy. He moves forward. That outlaw has a scimitar and a double grip. Only have a 7% chance to hit him. We're going to hold off, see if we get any better. We're going to hold off the full round. Let them get all of their movement in. What? You? What? Huh. So, our fellow caravan hands have fallen back a bit. Not sure if we should follow suit. We could probably drop everybody 2 spaces. Let them move forward again. Get off a round of ranged attacks. And then see what our fellows are going to do. I think we're going to go with that. So they charge in and throw some sand in our eyes. He's going to try to outflank. I'm going to concentrate on... get a slash in on him. Damage to his helmet and a little bit to himself. Because he's centered between these two, we're going to drop into shield wall. We're going to concentrate fire. We get our hit. Fast adaptation helped a bit with that. Ooh, when we get a second. I'm going to try to get a stun on him. Perfect. And we'll get another hit to build some damage. That nomad has already moved. We should be able to get 3 attacks on him this turn. First, the pikeman, 68% chance to impale, and almost takes him out entirely. Now our conscripts are fighting. We're going to send our rocks against the active hammermen. We're going to move to here because we get an attack off. Sneak a spear around his shield. I'm going to try to stun lock the second hammerer. Damn, missed both times. So I think we're going to change and try to stun lock this guy because I always worry about the 3 roundhouse attacks that these guys can run and how much damage that seems to do. And stun locking them takes it out of the equation for at least another turn. We should be able to kill both of them in another turn. We're going to send our rocks up at this guy to see if we can get a lucky shot off. Nope. But instead, we'll try to use our spearmen to finish him. Doesn't work. Probably their most dangerous remaining guy is this outlaw with the scimitar. See if we can finish him with the pikeman. We miss. Move down. They clear this, the first stun and the second. See if we can ace these guys with our bowmen. No luck. Ernest takes melee armor damage, but a bit to himself. Let's see if we can get one of our newfound rock throwers a hit. Nothing. So, we got a gravely wounded one and a wounded one. We're going to send these two. $30 to $45, 0 to 8. I think we really need. He's already got cut arm sinews. We're just going to try to get some damage on him. Take him out. Nice. Because he's sending attacks our way, we're going to shield wall up. Move up our... Get a hit on. Move out and see if we can get a clean shot. Nope. So we're going to move up. Mainly I just want to get those new slingers some practice. I'm going to try to stun lock them. No luck. Asgear finishes him with a well-placed spear stab. We're going to move to surround him. We might lose one of the conscripts. We want to get into position to attack this guy because he's hanging around. Don't really want to risk that attack. Got one around on the cutthroat though. Pick up some experience. Nope. See if we can stun you. Perfect. Hey! Got a hit by one of our slingers. Ernst took some decent damage. I don't really want to put him in the line of fire with a scimitar guy. Throw a hit on the retreating. Throw a second. I was hoping that might break the morale, but it has not. 2 more hits though, and he's also wounded. See if we can get down and add some support with the pikemen. Circling around. Get down behind. Perfect. The Band of the Faceless is starting to perform a bit. Our 2 indebted. Oh, those were they indebted? No, they were daytailers. Excuse me. Our 2 daytailers have bumped up a level. Nearly everybody kind of contributed except for Ben Freed. We get a little bit of food, some cash, 2 more scythes. Nice helmet. Let's take it all. See what we can use out of that. First of all, we're going to do our upgrades We're going to buff his 4 on both melee, ranged attack and health. We're going to give him a 5 initiative. We're also going to get him the student perk. Try to get our guys doing the reading is fundamental, learn as fast as possible route. You could use more fatigue and health. Kind of tempting to take that 4, but I don't think he's going to build up over time. We'll take the initiative bump. Also make him a student. So this is a 3 fatigue and 70, 8 fatigue and 95. Burnfried's. We have 2 guys named Burnfried. We do. Must have been a popular medieval name. Just trying to look bang for the buck. These stitched nomad armors are kind of nice too. I think we're gonna throw these into the mix, and we're actually just gonna get them repaired. And once available, we'll see if we can swap them onto some of our guys. I think for now we're gonna put the heavier headgear on Mutar. I'm going to drop a leather cap on Tahal. It still gives us a leather head wrap. We'll repair our bear helmet. Or you can give... I like covering up Guntram's cut off nose though. It feels responsible. We'll throw a head wrap on. Hemmed in. We haven't had much concern with people smashing our shields, so I'm going to drop the Adarga on Ernst to give him a little more range protection. Fortunately, we didn't pick up the scimitar that one of those guys seemed to have. Nearly certain it was. I think it might be worthwhile dropping a scythe on Tahal and giving him a bit more fatigue to work with. And get some damage out of him. We're going to make the scythe guys the center of the line. Little symmetry. Right, let's get back on the road. Going to use up most of our tools. Some unhappy peasants. And we have made it to Weisenfell. Reaching Weisenfell, the caravan leader turns to you, a large satchel in hand. Thanks for getting us here, sellsword. You take it and hand it over to Tala al-Abbas for counting. He nods when he finishes. The caravan leader smiles. Also, thanks for not betraying us and, slaughtering us to the man and all that. Mercenaries get thanked in the strangest ways. We gain 740 crowns. Weissenfels is now well supplied. We don't get in before nightfall. But we can still see what this contract is. They're well supplied in a rebuilding effort. Meinrad the Burgermeister, reading one of many scrolls, he angrily tosses it onto a pile of others. The people of Weissenfels are rightfully furious. Do you know a brigand, possibly in league with other vagabonds, managed to steal my crystal skull from us? That artifact is of immeasurable value to me, and to the people, of course. We shrug. And you want me to get it back for you? The man points a finger. Precisely, smart sellsword. That's exactly what I want you to do. Follow the footprints of thievery and return to me the item which the town, rightfully owns. What's this worth to you? I'm prepared to offer 100 crowns in advance and another 410 when the job is done. Try to get more? He ups his offer by about 20 crowns. We'll accept the offer. Follow the tracks and return the crystal skull. We accept this contract. The guys are in good enough condition. We're going to equip the Stitch Nomad armor, move around the lighter armor. We're showing your nose again. Gotta get him a helmet with a nose piece. Alright, off to chase the brigands. Hopefully we can get this done by morning. We should have more than enough that we don't need to be that concerned. So follow the tracks. No eyes on them yet. Decided them. So we got 9 thieves, thugs, a few poachers, and a raider. Could be a challenge. They're coming out to meet us. We're going to try to draw them into the grasses. Didn't work. We're going to get them on the other side of this hill. Brigands, just as your employer had thought. They look scared, presumably understanding that Meinrad the Burgermeister's well-paid wrath is about to descend upon them. To arms. Your scout reports the following: some brigand thugs, a few brigand poachers, and a brigand raider. Engage. We're going to hold our ranged guys, see if they advance. They have the benefit of ranged attacks on us. So we're going to move up with shield wall. First ranged attack is a miss. So we're going to pull a line here. And we're going to attack the unarmed damage dealer. Take about half of his hit points, and we pierce his arm muscles. I'm going to move down to support this line with the Morningstar. Entrim's going to move up onto high ground. Use that advantage to try to impale the Brigand Thug. Nice hit. We're going to move in front of Guntram. See if we can finish. Let's see what we can do to this guy. Awesome. 20%. Can we do it twice? We cannot. Here we're going to go over the pitchfork and see if we miss and get some collateral damage. Not once, not twice. This is a direct line. We get a nice hit. Braum takes a hit to the armor. Doesn't get through. Brigand's moved up. Looks like he has a falchion. We take a hit from the pitchfork. I'm trying to beat down this Brigand Thug. Nice hit on him. Breaks his nose. Destroys his mouth armor and gives him a big hit to the head. I think we're going to try to stun. So, action 5. Already done. We're going to try to stun him and take his attacks away. Didn't work. I'm going to use the uphill position to take out that one. We're going to move to support the attack against the Raider. Move him down. He still acts in 3 turns. See if we can get a stun. Doesn't work. The Duden Gang guy misses. See if we can kill him. They're breaking. So we're going to move forward to get pressure on the Brigand Thug. Going to move around behind Tahala and get off an arrow against the Raider. Miss. Going to move Guntram down. Get a pike against the Raider. Nice hit. Took out most of his helmet. Ripped his ear. Going to move forward. Hamden, our slinger. See if we can get a hit on one of these poachers. Miss. So I think we're going to try to slash him and put a little more, we didn't get another injury on him, but we did get more damage that hit his body. We're going to cover up. Take another shot out at the poacher. Miss. Move in to surround him. Stab him from behind. The Brigand Thug that tried to retreat dies. Gonna get up on, actually, yeah. Gonna get on the high ground. Got a 90% chance to put an arrow in the raider. Gonna take it. Pitchfork is now retreating. See if we can... We're going to try 2 slashes, see if we can damage him some more. Got a deep abdominal cut. And throw 2 rocks at the poacher. Missed. I thought that second one was going to get him. We're going to move around and get the poacher into melee. And take a hit to our armor. Gonna move up behind our melee troop, throw a rock. Gonna bridge this gap, see if the Morningstar guy can take him out. He does not. Got another shot with our pikeman. We finished the raider. Beat down the poacher. Oh no, that was a brigand thug, sorry. And charge forward to get the second poacher involved in melee. Move forward and get a stab on him. The battle is ours. See if we can get... No, it's not worth the arrows. We'll leave our... See if we can get a rock at him. Yeah, why not? Little rock practice. Doesn't hurt anybody. Good stab on him. Grazes his neck. A second. Death. Leave our archer as is. We'll circle around behind him. Get a stab. Nicely done, gents. Ernst levels up. Everybody got in the action on that. Burn freed the short, didn't hurt anyone. I think he might be our party pacifist. Ended up with a nice helmet. And a Gudendag. Take everything. Those who stole the crystal are dead, and thankfully you were able to find the item itself. Meinrad, the Burgomeister, will be most pleased with your work here. We will go collect our pay. Before we do so, picked up some extra arrows. I think we're going to throw them on Wolfram's belt in case he needs them. We got a nice 7 for 110 helmet. Our strongest guys, I think by far Asgeir has the spare fatigue of the bunch. So it'll cost him 3 extra fatigue, but he gets a good bump of 40 headgear protection once that's fixed. We have 70 and 4. I'm going to give that to Tahal. His is 50. This is also 50, but a little saves him a little bit of endurance. Gonna move the bear headpiece over and the leather head cap. Sort of musical headgear. And anything else worth considering? We're gonna bump Ernst up a level. Let's take a look. Ernst is just lucky. He doesn't have any persistent injuries. We're gonna definitely up his fatigue by 4. He has low resolve. A 4 bump there is kind of substantial at this point. And since he's really good at range defense, we might as well give him some bumps to the same. You can now take his second buff or perk. He's primarily acting as a spearman. Doesn't have enough initiative for dodge to matter. We have quite a few other guys that do crippling strikes, so we're going to give him Executioner. Just in case we get into hostilities on the way back, we're going to swap around the useless armor for now to someone that will hopefully not get into melee. We'll have to remember to fix that when we get back. Everything else is in fairly good repair. Let's give you guys a fixed shield. Right, back to Weissenfels. Definitely need some more tools. Need 19 just to fix what we have. They were in good supply. Hopefully we can pick those up on the cheap. Meinrad the Burgomeister's resting his legs on 2 dogs, each one passed out atop the other. These beasts could rip out my throat, yet look at them. How does this happen? I didn't even train them, someone else did. I'm a stranger to them, yet there they are. You place the artifact on the man's table and slide it across. He leans forward, takes it, and then places it under his desk. When his hand returns, he's got a satchel. He tosses it over. As promised, good work, Sellsword. We gain 440. I'm going to move into town. Let's see what we have in the marketplace. And we have some well-priced tools. Let's sell off some of the stuff that we're not going to use for certain. I don't think we're going to go any further on with either of those. We're going to pick up 2 tools and supplies because we need to use nearly a full one off the bat. Only have 2 days of provisions. We're going to pick up a bag of grain, which should give us 4 days, and that will get us back to the city that at least was, when we were there before, had food in great supply. I think we can lose the mouthpiece. Well, it gets us a gold, but was just taking up an inventory slot unnecessarily. See, we've had another miner show up, Alfagir, an orphan. The only work Alfagir could find was working the mines of the earth. The group is at 10. I don't think we need Alfgear, particularly at this moment, so we're going to leave him behind. Take a look at what the armor might have. You got 10 more durability for no fatigue hit. Our lone surviving original raider is still Brahm. I want to keep him alive. He's definitely the strongest fighter of the group. I like the leather neck guard as an option. We're going to give it to his worn mail shirt for now. Takes it up to 120. We're going to keep these guys throwing rocks until we get a little more range skill on them, and then make it worth the arrows. There is a 2-crown contract. Tarwa had the cheap food. The third southern city is likely down here, which is also where the arena likely is, which we have committed to winning 7 battles. Let's just find out what the 2-crown contract is. Meinrad the Burgermeister stares out his window, watching a group of men loading cargo into a number of wagons. He talks without looking your way. I have an important delivery heading out to Schneeberg, roughly 3 days north of here. Unfortunately, a competitor outbid me in acquiring a local band of caravan guards. Now I need your services. Let's talk numbers if you're interested. 20 crowns. I was thinking about payment for your task earlier. You'll be paid 17 crowns per head you arrive with. I'll pay for up to 15 heads and another 1,000 when the job is done. See if we can get some more. He refuses to pay anymore. To go to Schneegar, we're going to have to pass by some towns that don't like us very much, and we're very likely going to get assaulted. And we don't really need that fight just yet, because we would have had to go through Weinstadt, Neuakai. It looks like Weidenfest has decided that we're not so bad. But those unfriendly towns hurt us before. And I don't think I want to take the hit So we're going to go south, have a look at this southern realm. Then I think we're going to cut across to the east and see if we can get to the arena. We got some footfalls going off to the west, likely nomads. It looks like they might have just came back this way. Still not seeing them. You're now mildly formidable. We've gotten back down to Tarwa. It is still nightfall. Gonna run out to the city's edges. Just see what we have to see. Couldn't get eyes on who that was. It's now morning in Tarwa. Let's have a look inside. Have a beast slayer. They now have ambush trade routes, so in all likelihood, they may send us out against those. Everything is quite a bit more expensive. We only have 2 days of food. We're going to need to purchase some to survive. See what the contracts sound like. Nested in towers and aviaries, bells and birds alike echo in the air like the rattled voluntaries of a caged city. Beneath the noise in the dull marbled halls of a palace, you find Tamim al-Azi, the vizier of treasury, ordering the death of a servant. The offense is unknown to you, not that it bothers the vizier in the slightest, as he approaches you with a smile and clean hands. A number of councilmen are sending goods to Nukai, a good 3 days to the northwest. These goods must arrive in a shape that is passable to the awaiting merchants. I believe a crownling such as yourself can see to this task, yes? Nukai, I think, is also going to get us into conflict with some of the hostile villages. So we're going to say not the kind of work we're looking for, and look at the second contract. Tamim al-Azi, the vizier of the treasury, sighs as you enter the courtroom. Ah, Crownling, I'd almost forgotten I had requested your sort to come ruin my day. You stare at the vizier, as he is far too belabored to extricate himself from a sea of cushions and the harem of women who are there to fluff each and every one. Well, I suppose I shall sully an hour, if only to get this matter settled. Nomads have ravaged my caravans as they are wont to do, and Herat my markets are deprived of certain goods which I wish to have. I offer 870 crowns to find and destroy these sand-ridden mites. I can make this problem disappear. Very well, this is what I'm prepared to do. It's 870 crowns when the contract is done. I'm going to try to get more. This is it then. You are to receive 910 crowns when the contract is done. We will accept your offer. We have 11 days of cash. We can definitely afford to bring on another hand. We could purchase a few more indebted. or bring on another detailer. I sort of like the idea of bringing in Yazar, as he has equipment and some level of armor already. We're going to try him. And he is lucky. We're going to move him into the back line along with the others. He has better range skill than most, although his primary skill is initiative. I don't have any secondary weapons on these guys in case I get into combat. We'll need to resolve that next. We're also going to pick up some rice to give ourselves an extra day of provisions. So we need to go to the northwest. Gonna go around those cutthroats and preference cash over combat. And try to circle until our last hour of repair is done. And we're going to attack many nomad cutthroats and a few nomad slingers. Nine on 11. We also have a ranged advantage. We're going to go and see if we get them to charge. And they do. So, we'll move forward, cut at this nomad cutthroat, miss, pass there. We have a bit of a bottleneck there. I'm going to drop a spear wall and stop. See if we can get a stun. Success. Gonna move forward and drop a spear wall so they have difficulty coming through. Let's see if we can get some damage on these guys. Nice. This is a substantial hit. Take one out. See if we can get some damage over here. Nothing. Gonna move down in protection. And we're gonna hold. Move forward our pikemen and take a shot at the stunned cutthroat. We also pierced his hand. Our cutthroat charges and throws some sand in our man's eye. The spear wall did its work. We're going to move Brahm forward and attack the least armored of the two here. We sprain his ankle. No luck there. So most of our shots are blocked. We're going to move forward to remove that issue. We miss a 50-50 arrow shot. We got a straight shot on this Nomad Cutthroat. We're going to take 2 runs at. We hit him and break his nose and daze him. I'm going to lob a rock out in here and see if it hits anything. Got a cut on the Nomad Cutthroat, damages armor and otherwise spear wall. We're unlucky on our hit there. Gonna try to stun him. Perfect, gets through with the Morningstar. Gonna move forward with our pikeman and see if we can capitalize on the stun guy. We kill him. Not just shook their morale. Gonna move down and take another straight shot at this Cutthroat. No luck. Gonna move into the choke point and throw up a spear wall to stop him from being able to advance. Seems like he just jumped our spear wall, which doesn't seem copacetic. Gonna throw an arrow. Got 1 of 2. He's gravely wounded. 2 misses with our slingers. One of our slingers takes a hit. I'm gonna throw 2 more at the dazed. We broke his morale. I'm gonna send a second out at that slinger. And try to injure him. We get a deep abdominal cut. And a second to take him out. I'm gonna wait so we can move forward and attack. We're down to just slingers. I'm gonna move forward. Getting close enough to do some damage. This guy attempts to flee. Get around behind him. Take a free shot. Down behind him. Move our pikeman into position for an attack on the last slinger. Save the arrows. Throw a lot of rocks into the fire. Pikeman finishes the job. Stamina. Save the arrows. Victory. Enemy was destroyed in 5 rounds. Looks like we got 5 level ups. We also collected a signet ring, which will be valuable. We got some beat on armor, a pair more slings, another Ardagas shield. Nice stash. Before we depart, we're going to take a look at distributing those. So I think I want to get an Ardagas shield on our second spearman as gear. I wanted to get some secondary weapons on our slingers in case they need them. We have some repair available to us. I think it might be useful to get these thick robes swapped in for 20. Okay. Let's take a look at our upgrades. Benfried the Short. He's got a Death Wish. We're going to bump his fatigue, his health, and his melee defense. And he gets an extra bump to melee defense for being tiny. As far as perks go, he's already got decent health at 72. I think we're going to throw crippling strikes on him. I like the damage and the morale impact of crippling strikes overall. Tala al-Abbas, to take that 4 in ranged attack. We may move him to the back row as he improves a bit more. We're also going to take a 3 to melee attack. We're going to take a 3 to his endurance. We're going to give him Colossus to also bump his hit points up into the 70s, like a lot of his cohort. Mutar ibn Jazib is quick and an optimist. I think we're going to want to give him Colossus as well. And we're going to give him 3, 4 on fatigue. I think we're going to maximize his quickness by taking the 5 on initiative. And our 2 slingers also leveled up. Nice, we're going to get a 5 on ranged attacks. I think a 4 on initiative and a nice bump on health. We'll give them students in order to gather more information. Take a 5 on initiative. And take a 4 on resolve. It's not great, but we'll take the 2 on ranged attack. I think Wolfram's going to end up moving to the front line, where we have somebody else that specializes in ranged attacks. We're going to take Bullseye, minimize the penalty to hit chance for a lack of a clear line of fire. Our last slinger, nice bump on ranged attack, nice bump on health and initiative. We're also going to give him student. All right, let's take a look. We are in a pretty good spot. We do have some repairs to do. We don't really have much in terms of damage. We have 2 more days of provisions. We're going to go off and see if we can chase down these 6 nomads that ran off this way. Doesn't seem like they're nearby. You go out for a piss and you find yourself midstream when the din of combat erupts behind you. Pinching it off, you fix your drawers and head back for the encampment. There you find the whole company engaged in battle, not with any particular foe, but with itself. Self-swords are clamoring over equipment and the campfire and each other to swing fists and spin elbows and wrestle one another around or tackle each other to the ground. Anyone who falls gets their ass kicked, literally, until someone else comes along to distract the ones doing the kicking. Then the one who had fallen jumps to their feet and throws themselves back into the fray. The old fracas eases as the men slowly realize you're there, and they shape up and line up as though a swift reorganization would be a suitable resolution for their churlish behavior. Shaking your head, you ask what sparked it. The men shrug. Not a one can remember. You do a roll call to make sure nobody's dead, and then you tell them all to shake hands, keeping an eye on them as they do so. No bad blood to sniff out. Seems like this was just a bit of a fun tussle and wrestle, and that is all. We get 3 guys with light wounds and get some happy winners. We're going to head back to town now that we got some more damage on ourselves. Try to get there before nightfall. I don't think it's going to work. It did not. You try to enter Tamin al-Azid, the visor's treasury room, but a large scarred guard lowers the business end of a polearm across the door. No visitors. You state that you have business with the visor. The guard shakes his head. A servant comes up behind you and puts a satchel in your arm and then departs just as fast. The guard returns the polearm to his side. Your travailities with the visor are concluded when you first departed his presence. You are not to poison his mood any further. Leave now before you poison mine. We get 910 crowns, and Tarwa no longer has ambush trade routes. We get paid. Tempted to try to cross the desert and get to the last of the southern cities, which should be somewhere in here. Night has just commenced. We have enough tools to continue repairing. We have 3 more days of provisions, 13 days of cash. So things have turned around. At the beginning of this stream, I was fairly certain that the Band of the Faceless was going to die. We were down to like 3 men in the wilds. But as is wont to happen, things have improved, and we are in a much stronger position. I think we're going to call the stream to an end here. It's just hit the 3-hour mark, and that's about 5 hours into this campaign, a new start. And this was the 2nd episode for the Band of the Faceless and their attempt to survive with a Northern Raiders start and a large portion of the map already against us. Kind of happy with the progress we made. I think we had a few lucky shots, but otherwise have moved forward pretty well. Going to call to an end. If you're watching now, thanks for watching. This will also be up on the videos as a VOD that you could stream down, and will end up getting pushed out to YouTube as well. All right. Thanks much. Have a good one.